My ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. So it's been a while, and I thought I would just do a general kind of check-in, talking about the last month, some of the things I've received, why I've been offline for the best part of a month, etc. So you will have noticed perhaps a couple of videos that have gone out. The Jean Dodal by Artisan Tarot was actually filmed at the beginning of the month, the beginning of January, whilst I was at home for 10 days because of COVID. I got a few videos done that was then set to go live. So the Jean Dodal had a Kickstarter date, so it was recorded a couple of weeks in advance and then scheduled to go live on the day of the Kickstarter campaign. And also I did the video for Lunar Moon Hair for Imolc, which was scheduled to go live on the 1st of February. So I know in particular when I scheduled the Jean Dodal one, a couple of friends said, "Oh, it's good to see you back," and it confused me at first because I wasn't back, but then I remembered I'd scheduled some videos. So I think the last pre-recorded video I did was about a month ago, and it was talking about the fact that I had COVID and bringing people up to speed, because I know there's a few people that were concerned about the fact that I was unwell. And in that video I mentioned that I was working from home, that I was doing okay, and how I got COVID. So that video is up, and I'm not going to go over a lot of old ground, but it's quite outdated now, because in that video I mentioned that my mum had gone into hospital just before Christmas, came out on Christmas Eve, had the main days with us at home, Christmas Eve evening, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, but they didn't give her enough antibiotics for the infection she had, including sepsis, so she ended up going back into hospital for 2 days, and they released her with more antibiotics. However, while she was in hospital for those 2 days, she contracted COVID, and we went over for New Year. I say we, me, my sister, brother-in-law, and my stepdad was there. We had New Year's Day and the 2nd of January with my mum, but she became unwell and was taken into hospital on the 2nd, or the early hours actually of the 2nd going into the 3rd of January, where they diagnosed her with COVID. So when I did my video, that was part way through the week, my mum started to pick up and it looked like things were going great. But then after I did that video, she took a turn for the worse and unfortunately passed away on the 10th of January. And it devastated us, absolutely devastated us, because we obviously had kept her safe for the past 2 years, because we knew, because of her health condition, that if she'd got COVID, that would be it would be a very serious situation, which it was. She was double jabbed, she was boosted, but she wasn't able to fight off that virus. And yeah, my mum's loss has left a gaping hole. I haven't experienced grief like that before. And just to put it in some sort of context, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and so, the closest person to me was my mum. We spoke, or I either saw her or spoke to her every single day without fail. So her passing, as I said, it's left a massive gaping hole, and we're in the process of trying to readjust and continue. But I did need that space. And I've had some wonderful messages, and one that sticks in mind actually was Jamie's, when she said that you know, Jamie recently had lost a parent as well. Not to disappear completely, because you will need the community. And whilst I've needed this time to grieve and to try and readjust, I do miss the community and the support of the community. So we're now in February. The funeral was on the 31st, which was an extremely tough day. But anyway, what I wanted to say was a heartfelt thank you. I really do feel blessed to have a supportive family, wonderful friends, in real life friends, but also the amount of emails, messages, and things that I've received. I mean, cards alone, the amount of cards that I've had from in real life friends, but also you know, members of this community, both in this country and overseas. I mean, this one came from America. It's just been an incredible support network, I think is the best way to describe that. Some lovely kind thoughtful gestures as well. You know, Becca named a star after my mum. I've received dream catchers, candles with my mum's name on, even lovely generous people like the guys over at Sons of Asgard sent me this candle and an Apache tear. I've had crystals, bears, all sorts of wonderful kind and generous things. So I just wanted to just say thank you. Thank you for your understanding, for your messages, your kind words, and I will never ever forget just how much love and support that I have received. And if there is anybody out there, and I've heard it many times, who say, you know, it's not a real community, this isn't a community, that's nonsense. I felt the love and strength of this community through all of your outpouring of condolences and offers of support. Even people I didn't know that well, you know, have said, call me day or night. So we are a community, and one that I am so grateful that I found. I can't imagine, you know, going through this at any other point without having this support. So I just wanted to mention that. I don't feel I'm ready yet for face-to-face, being on camera face-to-face, and that's why I'm doing a face-down video. And I don't feel ready to do lives just yet, but that will come. It will come in time. But I just wanted to do a bit of a check-in. So a few things to show you of what's been happening over the last few weeks. So I think one of the first things I want to show you is this beautiful card that I received from the lovely Naomi Hewitt, who, you know, I consider as, I've never met Naomi in real life, but I do consider her a friend, a supporter of my channel right from the beginning, and has always been there. We've had nice conversations outside of the channel, you know. I have met her kind of face to face through Zooms and things like that. But Naomi is a beautiful artist, and she sent me artwork before, and this was just a thank you card for when Jen and I, my friend Jenna Ball, and I did the Christmas Cup of Catrican cards, and she was a runner-up on the Christmas quiz, and we sent her, well, I sent her some bits and bobs that was the runner-up prize. And she did this, which is of the Glastonbury tour and the moon gazing hair, and it is just beautiful. And I'm going to get a frame for this because I want to hang this on my wall above my sacred space, because I absolutely love it. And I just wanted to share that with you, because even the details, like the silvery shadow effect of the tor there that the moon is cast, and the beautiful stars, I just think it is so beautiful. So thank you, Naomi, for sending me that. I really appreciate it. It came just after Christmas, and yeah, it came at the right time as well. In terms of decks, I have got some decks that I wanted to share with you, but I just wanted to mention, first and foremost, a deck that has really helped me over the last few weeks. Well, two decks actually, and I have done walkthroughs of this. And this is the Goddess Dream and the Goddess Love Oracles by Wendy Andrew. Since my mum's passing, I haven't really been doing tarot readings. But there's a couple of decks. I'll show another one in a minute because it links. But this deck in particular, or these two decks, because this is a combination of two decks that I edged in the purple and the blue. And again, I have a video about this. But this has been so gentle, and just has really helped me with the grieving process. It is very feminine. And by that I mean there's a beautiful feminine energy to this. The readings are very, very comforting and supportive. And the cards that I've pulled from this deck, the messages that I've received from it during this really difficult time has just been such a blessing in my life. So this isn't anything that's come in the last few weeks, but I did get them for Christmas. So I think I showed them on my live with Chris from Elemental Cartomancy on the Boxing Day bash that Chris and I did on my channel on Boxing Day, which is, if you're outside of countries like here in Canada that celebrate Boxing Day, then it's the 26th of December, the day after Christmas Day. So I've really appreciated having this deck. It's quite timely that I got them for Christmas, because it's really it was really timely that I got it, and it's really helped me. Now, another deck that I received was from Sandra over at the Whispering Well. Now, Sandra sent me this as part of a care package when I got COVID. She sent me some Hotel Chocolat, some coffees, a lovely little heart plaque that is on my sacred space, and she sent me this deck, which is Through the Eyes of the Soul by Cheryl Yambrak Rose. And do check out Sinead's channel over at Hazel Jane Tarot, because she spoke about this deck, and Sinead bought this deck whilst we were all together in Glastonbury. I believe that Cheryl Yambrak Rose is from Glastonbury, or still is in Glastonbury. But again, you know, the universe responds to our needs, and when this was sent to me, it's got a lovely little book as well. We didn't know the situation and how it's going to turn out with my mum, but again, this deck has been incredible. The artwork is amazing. I mean, Cheryl is such a talented artist. Now, I'd seen this deck because it is available. There's two actually in Glastonbury as independently produced decks, which are the kind of tall cards, like long versions of tarot cards with borders on them. But this has been released by Blue Angel on beautiful matte cardstock, and the borderless now with the little quotes at the bottom. There's the Glastonbury tour, and there is elements of Glastonbury in this. But again, a very healing deck, and I can recommend this as well for people who are going through grief, just like I can with Goddess Dream and Goddess Love. It came at just the right time, so thank you, Sandra. Incredible artwork. show a few more of these cards. Visualize healing. Embrace the three worlds. And it's very goddess centric. It has a Celtic feel. It's got lots of references to Glastonbury. I mean, that looks like the Isle of Avalon. You know, when you're at the top of the Glastonbury Tor and you look out. Okay, so that's Through the Eyes of the Soul by Cheryl Yambrock Rose. Really appreciated that deck. So what else? I'm turning away because I'm looking behind me. I will do a separate video of this, but you will recall that every time there is a Sabbat, I am trying to get, and it's not always possible, I wasn't able to get the Samhain one, for example, the celebration kits, the ritual celebration kits from Sons of Asgard. But I was able to get the Imbolc one, which I've appreciated being able to get, because these are wonderful. You get oils and sprays and incense and candles, and they're just brilliant. So in here, this celebration gift box contains Imbolc loose incense jar, Imbolc magical spray, Imbolc magical oil, hand-rolled coloured beeswax spell candles, 3 of, Imbolc hand-rolled mini triple spiral beeswax candle, tumblestone crystals, Imbolc magical herb blend, an organza bag, charcoal discs, and the Imbolc information sheet. And these are lovely. I use some of the loose incense to put in little offering dishes on my sacred space to my god and goddess and to Gaia. But it's lovely to light the incense from the jar, spray the room at the Sabbats as well. So yeah, Sons of Asgard do these beautiful kits. These ones are £30, and then there is a smaller one for £15. But I'll do a full walkthrough of that separately. What I wanted to mention next is something I've been really excited about, and that is, hoping this will fit in. Ooh, I don't want to catch anything on fire. Total Tarot. Now, I've seen this advertised for the best part of the last 6 months, and you could go online and order this. It is a part work that builds up over time, and every January in the UK, part works are a big thing. So I think there's 3 that's come out this January. One on the Titanic, where you can get these little parts and build your own Titanic. One on dolls' houses, and the 3rd one is Total Tarot. Now, this is linked to Lo Scarabeo, so it's a Lo Scarabeo production, but what you get each week, or fortnightly, it might be fortnightly I think, is you can build up decks, but you get these information sheets and booklets and everything. Now, with part 1, you get the majors of the Golden Art Nouveau and the box, and then in part 2 you get the first of the minors, and in every edition, which makes me think that there's going to be 56 editions, you get an extra one. So you build your collection up. But what is really exciting, for me anyway, is that in part 2 and part 3 you get the Radiant Wise Spirit. Now, I've already opened this just to check it out, and again, I did a video a couple of years ago about the confusion between the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot and the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, because I remember back in 2017 raving about this deck when it was the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot, and Kelly Bear in one of my live chats coined it the Dirty Pam, and that seems to have stuck within the community. Then it disappeared well, it didn't disappear. It was still out, but it went to just a bog standard. I think it was the PAMC version of the deck. And everybody was like, but what happened to these dramatic colours? And then Lo Scarabeo said they were bringing it back, but it was going to be called Radiant Wise Spirit. They brought it back and it was borderless, thick, glossy cardstock. But with this, it is the exact Dirty Pam, the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot. Cardstock is exactly the same because I have got a copy of this, so I know that it's the same cardstock and everything. So in the first edition, sorry, the part 2, you get the entire Major Arcana. Okay. In part 3, which is out next week, you get the full Minor Arcana. So in just 2 part works, you get the Dirty Pam, which is this version is an out of print version. And I believe part 3 is also going to be $3.99. This after the introductory issues will go up to $6.99 in the UK. So if they're out fortnightly, we're talking £14 a month to subscribe to this. But to get the Dirty Pam for less than £8, when I've seen this going on eBay for like £200, I just think is incredible. So bravo to Lo Scarabeo for going back to the original Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot, still called Radiant Wise Spirit, and making it available through this this part work. Well, let's have a look at, I won't be able to get this back in the plastic now. Now I've taken it out, so let's just pop it to one side. I'll do that later. Let's have a look at what you get, just in case you are thinking of subscribing. So I was going to subscribe online, but I have issues here with my post. Getting post in this building during lockdowns and things like that has been nigh on impossible. So I was using my mum's address for any sort of deliveries or mail, because my mum was housebound, so she was in every day, so we never missed anything. Now that that situation has changed, my stepdad, will be out gardening and doing different things, odd jobs for people. If something came there and nobody was home, I wouldn't have the ID to collect it. So this wouldn't fit through a letterbox or anything like that. So I've gone to a newsagent and I've asked them, I've paid a deposit, I've set up a folder, and I've subscribed to this through the newsagent. So every fortnight I'll go in and collect them. So what you get, things that build up, obviously apart from the freebies, and there are lots of decks that are going to be coming out, not just Art Nouveau and Radiant Wise Spirit. I think Thelema Tarot is one of them. There's going to be quite a few things that you get. So this tells you about, the binders you get. You get 6 free gifts if you subscribe, worth £80. You get a tarot card pouch, which is for the Dirty Pam, which is brilliant. A tarot journal, you get crystals, you get tarot candles, a crystal ball. All of these things you get if you subscribe. If there are 2 versions, there's a $6.99 version or a $7.99 version. The only difference if you upgrade to premium is you get a copy of the Starman Tarot. I've got the deluxe version of the Starman Tarot, so there was no point me doing that one. I just did the $6.99 version. You get the deck in detail. So this is all about the I keep calling it the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot, the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. So again, you get a little meaning, innocence, journey for the fool, a little right up, upright to reversed. So that appears and that builds up. You get Total Tarot, a definitive step-by-step course, which tells you all about the tarot. So the decks that you're going to get if you collect this, and you can see the little collection boxes here, the tuck boxes: Radiant Wise Spirit, Thelema Tarot, the Visconti Tarot, Pre-Raphaelite, Marseille, Golden Art Nouveau, Universal Tarot, Vice Versa Tarot, Illuminati. Now, I've not heard of this one, Harmonious Tarot, the John Bauer Tarot, and the Arcanum Tarot. Now, I have quite a few of these anyway. I've got Golden Art Nouveau, I've got John Bauer, I've got Illuminati, I've got Vice Versa, and I've got Pre-Raphaelite. I don't have Philema, obviously Marseille Tarot, I'm not quite sure what version that will be. But you get free storage boxes and card pouches. So I just think it's a really nice collection, and I'm quite pleased that mainstream newsagents and magazine stockists are investing in tarot. I think it's wonderful. These are the magazines you get, and it's got things like tarot card meditations, make tarot part of your everyday life, the essentials. You've got, look at this, welcome to the major arcana. So it tells you about one of the cards, the number 3, card name Empress. Again, you've got tarot to glance here, where you can just quickly, almost like cheat sheets, introducing spreads, one card spread, visual reference to the Art Nouveau, and then we go into the deck library, Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Now this will build up as well, because you get a different card each week with each magazine. Masculine and feminine, the yin and yang there, key to the major arcana, and then you go into detail. So we're starting with the Fool. As you can see here, nice big images, but you get almost like the essential guide to tarot. You're getting things about the symbols. So A, the feather, B, the bag, which I just think is great as this builds up each week as a part work. And in issue 2 is obviously the Magician. So I will obviously take everything out of these. I just left it in here so I could show you. So that's Essential Tarot, and I'm really pleased to subscribe to that and see what goodies come. And I will from time to time come back in and show you some of the things that you get with this collection. Okay, what next? Oh, let me show you this as well. So Sandra sent me this stone, and you can see it's Worm from Labyrinth. And this was a lovely, thoughtful gift, because where I go every year with my parents, or went every year with my parents, was to the seaside. And for those of you who remember, when I went in August last year, I found an indoor market stand called Wizards and Witches, and I put a link to them, and they've started doing online sales now. And I really would encourage people to check them out and support them, because little independent market stalls or shops really do need our support. You know, lots of people complain or say, I wish there was something like this in my area. Well, the more we support independent retailers, the better. And Sandra had messaged saying, you know, that little store that you found at the seaside, they're now doing online orders. And because of what's been happening, I hadn't gone on and checked yet. But Sandra obviously had, and she sent me this painted stone, and it's only been done in the last few weeks. It's got 2022. The artist is A.M. Barton, but it's a real weight. It'll be an amazing paperweight. But as you can see, it's got Worm on, which is my favourite character from Labyrinth. Hello. So that made me smile when I opened that. It was a lovely gift to receive. So that came. Shall we look at decks? So this little beauty arrived, I think, the second week in January. Now Justin Michael had told me about this deck, but again, it was from the States, and by the time I went and checked it out, there wasn't any available. And on Christmas Eve, whilst I was sat at my parents, actually waiting for my mum to be discharged from hospital, he contacted me and he said, there is a limited amount left. I wanted you to know, because I know how much you wanted it, And so I jumped on it straight away and just ordered it through Etsy. And what this is, and I've shown a few decks like the Divine and Play, which was a Kickstarter campaign, which is an RWS playing card deck. And then we received from US Games, there was an RWS playing card deck there. But what this is, and then this thing's like Arcana, isn't it? This is a traditional playing card deck that has had the major arcana added to it in the style of playing cards. You do get this little book here, Standard Playing Card Tarot. There's not a lot of information in there. It is just a little guide here. Now there are some games that you can play here as well. So you see here we've got scoring systems and things like that. So there are a couple of games in the back: American Tarot, Rules of Play, How to Deal, and things like that. And then there is this one, which rules the game. What's this one? This one is called Curse, Chemetic Unorthodox Rat Screw, Curse. And then a little bit about the cards. I love this deck. I'm going to stand up because I want to bring it closer. It is premium quality. You can see the linen here. It's like casino quality. I love the two jokers that are in this. One is a joker reading cards, doing cartomancy, and there is another joker here that's scrying with a crystal ball. I really like it. The backs are quite traditional with playing card decks, but just have a look at this. And I haven't touched this since the day I got it. As I said, I've not been reading tarot. But isn't this great how the cards are in keeping with playing cards? Now the emblems here, you see we've got the diamonds, the clubs, the sword, which, you know, obviously representing spades. I can't really make out what the suit for cups would be for water, because what we've got for the minors, obviously, when it gets to, you've got the playing card representation, and this, with it being a major, seems to have like an amalgamation of three of them. But anyway, maybe it's just the shape that looks like a heart for the cups, maybe the overall shape. But yeah, this is just wonderful. The quality of this deck is beautiful, and I think they've done such an amazing job to replicate. I mean, just look at that. It just looks like the king in a playing card deck, doesn't it, for our emperor. We have priest for the Hierophant, but again, you know, we've got the Hierophant staff here. It's done in a way that's you know, it reversed like a playing card. I love the lovers. I think it's done so well. Strength is at 8. The Hermit, the Wheel, look how beautiful that is. Justice. Look at the Death card. Tower. I love this. It looks like the moon is eclipsing, or is it eclipsing the sun? The sun is gorgeous. We have Judgment and then the World. The aces are really, really striking. I love this. So let's go for each ace, so you can just see them locked together. Really beautifully done. Well, I've got two, oh, because they go in reverse that way when we get halfway through. Look at that for the Ace of Pentacles. Where's Hearts? Where are we? Oh, it'll be at the end, of course. There you go. And they're a playing card deck, you know, so you can take your majors out, and also what you'll need to take out, you've got your Jack. We've got a Cavalier here, which is the Knight. So you take out your Cavaliers, and then you've got your your Jack, Queen, King, and your pip cards. So you can use it as a playing card deck, or you can add your majors, and you've got your full 78 card deck in playing card style. And you will have seen over the last year or so, I've been studying playing cards. Now I was reading, this book, which is Every Card Tells a Story, Playing Card Divination by Stephen Ball, who also is the author of the Elemental Divination, which talks about using casting die for divination purposes as well. And I found it interesting, but I do prefer, if I'm honest, just to use my knowledge of pips, so, which I've mentioned many times, for stability, 4 legs on a table, and then what the elemental association means as a starting point, and then build from there when you're doing readings for people. So I'm trying to get the book in. I have to remember that the book actually doesn't fit in. It's just for the cards. This is nice and easy. I like tuck boxes where it drops down at the back. You've got a finger point. You can just pull it in and out. Really easy to use. So I'm going to leave that out now. I've shown it you because I want to start working with that deck. The other deck that I received recently is Magical Tarot Guidebook and Deck. Now I had this on pre-order for about a month, and there was just a knock at the door. I think it was about a week ago, and it was my neighbour who had taken this in for me. What I will say is, if you are interested in this deck, just be careful if you're buying it from places like Amazon, because there are 2 versions. There is the book only, and then there is the tarot deck included version. And what this is a tarot system that has been created for the purpose of spell work or ritual work. The reason why I wanted it is because of the images in here. Now, as you know, I'm a huge RWS fan, and what they've done here is they've redrawn the Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's kind of like grayscale, but with each card has a single colour, and the effect I think is quite striking. This box as well is beautiful. It's embossed, and you've got this beautiful kind of pink and purple night sky or the universe, and it's in a beautiful set. Now I don't normally like sets where the book is attached, and this isn't. You can actually, it just slides out. So if I show you here, you've got your separate book. Let's look at one of the images here. So we've got the tower, and it tells you here all the associations. So zodiac, the ruling planet, the element, the fire, color red, why they're using the colors. If it's a yes or no, it's no, upright and reversed, and then you get the description of the cards. We see 2 figures falling from the tower, etc. And then on this side, we get the symbolism, and then we get the tower in magical work. So there is spell work and ritual work listed here as well. And then time for change. So you can do recipes for creating spells. So ingredients: the tower card, pen, paper, envelope, cinnamon, and frankincense incense. So there's quite a lot of information, and on its own, this is a great book to buy. You don't have to buy it with the deck, but I really like these images. I like the simplicity of the drawings. But I like the single use of colour as well. So I'm going to take it out. Let's pop this out the way for a second. I mean, it's in quite a naff tuck box, but it's quite a chunky deck. Cardstock, when I first felt it, I thought, oh wow, this is lovely cardstock. But it is a little bit cardboardy. But it does have a sheen, so it's not like, it kind of reminds me a bit These are the backs. I'm not that impressed with the backs, to be honest. They're not the sort of, they're okay. It's almost got like almost like an eye, and it's got the different moon phases. But I didn't buy it for the backs. I thought about edging it in purple, but just look at the images. I really like it. It's very simple, as I said, very simple sketch, but this single use of colour on top of the grayscale image, I just think it's gorgeous. Look at that purple as well. It is a modern take, you know, there is a representation in this deck, somewhat. I do think it could have gone a bit further, but... So we've got the symbols here, we've got the cross keys, we've got the staff. And I love the fact that there's lots of pinks and purples, two of my favourite colours. Especially if they're combined. I love pink and purple combined together. Look at that hermit coming out of a cave. I love that. So it is very RWS, redrawn. Look at that death card. But there's something about this wash of colour over the images. I love that she's voluptuous, got some body diversity. And I won't show you them all, but you can see how it's illustrated pips in line with RWS. So if you are used to reading that system, then really, really love this. Cat on a lap. Very modern. So it has brought it up to date. I particularly like this because these are really clear children in the card. I think the original Pixies artwork of the Six of Cups in particular can be quite difficult. People are like, is it an old lady? They're wearing headscarves. I like the shadow effect of this. This is the Ten of Cups, but there's something about that as a family that's silhouette. I mean, we're used to seeing the rainbow, but because this is a single colour card, I just think that's really quite striking. Page is very modern. So yeah, really like this. And it wasn't expensive. I think I paid £15. So I wasn't quite knowing what to expect, but yeah, I really enjoy it. So that's Magical Tarot. I think the card stock is okay. You know, I think if you bent these cards, it would bend, and that would be it. But I'm not a riffle shuffler, so I don't intend to bend those cards. And as I said, the book is really good. Oh, we've got something here at the back about lunar phases as well. So it tells you about full moon, waning moon, because it's about magical work. A bit about each of the elements. I do fire, I feel water, symbols there for the 4 elements. I think air. So it's linking, you know, air is about the intellect, the thoughts, everything. So I think air, I am earth. We are, you know, we're from the earth. We are, you know, what is it? From dust we came and dust we shall return. I feel water because that's your emotions. You're feeling and experiencing it in the heart. And I do fire. Fire is what drives us, you know, it's what we do. So I think it's a brilliant, brilliant set. And I think it'll be really good for beginners to tarot as well. What else? I still have it. There's 2 Christmas decks that I've not opened yet, which is the Runic Tarot, which was a gift from one of my best friends, which I still haven't opened. I've just not been in the headspace, guys, as I'm sure you understand. And this one, the Beauty of Horror, that was a gift from Sandra at Christmas. I'm waiting to get the Beauty of Horror colour edition as well, because I'm hoping to do, this is the black and white, well actually it's a colour your own colouring set. but I'd like to have both. I don't intend on colouring this. I'm not a colourer. I wanted it because I wanted the black and white version, but I intend to get the colour one and perhaps do a side by side of that, so that's probably why I've not opened it. But as I've said, it's been a very challenging time from just before the week before Christmas until the funeral recently. So I've not been online, I haven't watched videos, I've just taken the time out that I needed to process and adjust and to grieve. So the last thing to show you is in this box and I haven't opened this. This came first week in January. This was the Christmas present to myself, my big Christmas present. Every year I tend to just treat myself to something at Christmas. So you may recall I did a video towards the latter part of 2021 about this book, which is called The Complete Grimoire, Magical Practices and Spells for Awakening Your Inner Witch. Now it's by Lydia Pradas, creator of Wiccan Tips. This book is absolutely brilliant. I'm not much of a book person with having ADD. I struggle to read. But what this is it's Lydia's own grimoire. And everything in here, as I was reading through it, I was like, yes, that's me. You know, there's even something at the beginning that talks about what kind of witch you are, which I didn't know. You know, some people say, oh, I'm a hedge witch, I'm a green witch, I'm a cottage witch. But actually, and the artwork is beautiful as well. Through reading this, what are the most common types of witches? You've got cosmic, eclectic. I'm an eclectic witch. I class myself as pagan. I don't tend to use the word witch. I don't know why. I've got no problem with it at all. But if I did identify, then it would be eclectic, a witch. But this book has everything in it, particularly if you're just coming onto the path of being a pagan or exploring witchcraft. It has frequently asked questions, first steps, altar and tools, the wheel of the year. It goes through all of the wheel of the year, crystals, herbs, divination, working with spirits and deities, correspondences, rituals and spells. And it's jam-packed with information. And I was reading it and I was like, this is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Here we are, we're in Imbolc season at the moment. And I was just, it's one of those books that I was reading and didn't want to put down. But as I moved, if I was reading, for instance, about altar and tools, I've got all these kind of good ideas, and that's why I put my God and Goddess from behind where you see me sitting on videos when I'm doing face-on recordings to my sacred space, because I wanted that balance of having both God and Goddess on my sacred space. And then I learned about the candles that you could associate with God and Goddess. But then when I'm moving on to something else, it's like, oh, but I don't want to forget what I've just learned here. And I'm not one of these people, again, nothing wrong with it, but I'm not one of these people who mark books. I like them to be in pristine order. But what this did was to encourage me to start doing my own grimoire. Now, I am not somebody who is artistic, and I was like, but you know, if I start doing a grimoire and it looks naff, because people can be really creative with their grimoires. So what I decided was to get a really nice binder, and then I can print things off. I will, you know, there are things like that I've done creatively, semi-creatively, like Who I Am in the Tarot, which is the Page of Cups. And I did in my journal, I did a piece on that, and that can be taken out. But I thought if I get a binder, I can then, you know, print things off that are pertinent to me, pop them into, oh wow, look at this. Let me, oops. surprised this place hasn't gone up in flames before now. Hopefully this is all fitting in. So we've got this little card here. So it's called Earthworks. I got it from Etsy, 21 years. Hi Brian, my first name. Thank you S&J. I got this from Becca. Becca was doing I think she did a video about it, and I said, oh, would you send me the link? So Earthworks Journal, thank you for purchasing one of our binders. When you first receive your binder, you will notice that the covers are quite stiff. This is because we've made it from a single piece of natural vegetable tanned leather, which stiffens during our hand tooling and staining process. With use, your binder will lose some of its stiffness and become more supple without losing any of its sturdiness. And I noticed that with something like my Midori. That was very stiff, and it's got lovely and soft now, and it's got the nice scratches and things on it. This is helped by a coat or two of your own special beeswax dubbing. We have tried to achieve an aged look with our antiquing process, but nothing beats time itself, I agree. What we're really trying to say is the more you use your binder, the better it will look and feel. And that's Samantha and Jason at Earthworks Journals. So I'm going to pop that in there, and let's have a look at this binder. I did have my initials added to this. Oh, this is nice. This is beautiful. Wow, I'm hoping it all fits in. So you see here at the bottom, it's got BSH, which is my initials. But this is beautiful. Oh wow, look at this. So it is a 4-ring binder. I can't even fit it in. Let me see if I can move the camera slightly. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Yeah, that fits in, look. So, oh, this is gorgeous. You can feel its suppleness. So I got a 4-ring binder because I think that'll be more sturdy, holding the pages into place. And as I said, if I put them in poly pockets, that will protect them as well. Now this was quite expensive. I think it was 90 something pounds, but the craftsmanship and quality of this is absolutely beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So I'm thrilled with that, and this will be my grimoire. And I've already got things saved that I've seen online, that I've, things like the Wheel of the Year for this year, and lots of tarot stuff, but also some spell work, some intention setting, and things about gods and goddesses that will go into this. So beautiful. I'm thrilled with that. And as I say, I've had this for a few weeks now, but I wanted to open it and share it with you guys. So yeah. So I think that is everything. I don't think I've got anything else to mention. I have been sent a deck by Schiffer for review, but I did let Schiffer know the situation and said just give me a bit of time, which is the American Renaissance Tarot. So I'm looking forward to doing a walkthrough of that. And yeah, I think that's everything. So that's brought everybody up to speed. Again, just thank you for your support. It really has meant the world to me. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.